The transportation and logistics industry is a truly global and growing industry that we thought we wanted to go deeper into because of its transformation. And one of the companies that are leading this transformation and growth is DHL Express, that is headed by the Chief Executive Officer, Ken Allen. Ken Allen, welcome and thank you for your time this afternoon. DHL Express has undergone a transformation over the last decade. Tell us a bit about, the transformation and how you have been leading that through that change.
So I think it's a bit of a classic story, actually. DHL was, the archetypal entrepreneurial company set up by three people, who created the most international company in the world. But by 2002, it was about a $6 billion revenue organization, but then in real need of capital and expertise. And at that point, Deutsche Post stepped in and bought DHL as they were trying to diversify away from the German mail. The thinking at that point was to have multiple domestic businesses all around the world connected to get a low cost and to feed both domestic and international networks. Our real expertise and the thing that made us different and the thing that we really could say we were the best in the world at was the whole international business, right? We were in every country in the world. We got this great relationship and understanding of customs authorities everywhere. We knew every international company just about. And so, we went through this phase where we were integrating domestic companies into the DHL network and obviously giving them the great brand network as well. It didn't work that well, but then we said, right, okay, what really are we the best in the world at? What really drives us? What can propel us from being a good company to a great company? And that was the International Express business. We were still market leader in that business, and therefore we set about divesting ourselves of those domestic businesses that hadn't given us the return that we expected and put all our effort into this international business.
So maybe talk a bit about the culture of DHL Express today, but also your view on how that culture kind of helps you continue to create the high performance, the connectivity to clients, and also your role in driving that cultural change. Yeah.
I remember, one of my mentors, right, a guy called Po Chung, and when I first met him, he said, Ken, he talked about the 3 C's, the 3 most important things. Number 1, customer. Purpose of a business is to create and keep a customer, right? And again, when you're small and entrepreneurial, if you haven't got a customer, you haven't got a salary, you haven't got anything, right? So customer, I think that orientation towards customer was inbred into us right from day one. Colleagues, we run an international network, and as I say, we are the most international company in the world. We're in every country and territory around the world. So we built this intense culture where we all had to rely on each other, and we didn't necessarily get paid for it. So it was built on trust and a sort of common drive of the brand name, right? So it's customers, colleagues, and the third one, again from an entrepreneurial point of view, cash. Cash, sometimes in big corporation we take cash for granted. But one thing that was drilled into us right from the early days is we needed that cash to keep the business growing. And as everybody knows, when you're a young business and you're growing very fast, you can be profitable, but cash can kill you if you don't collect it regularly and you don't keep those investments going. Then when Deutsche Post took us over, they brought in a number of disciplines, right? We still had that culture inherent in us, right? But then they brought something to the party as well. These great processes, the sort of bigger picture way of doing things. Really looking at capital in a more in-depth nature. So over time, we've managed to merge, I think, those 2 cultures, right? And I think Deutsche Post has learned a lot from us, and we've learned a lot from them.
How do you see innovation playing out in DHL Express in the years to come?
Real innovation is, moving the business forward with constant improvement, right? But also getting people to see that when you talk about your strategy and the things that you're doing, they know it's you, they know it's DHL Express. Innovation is making sure that the messages that you give to your people are consistent, but they're done in a way that really makes them remember and sees them as something different. Yeah.